And we are back right now. You can see the schedule. We've got Southern Exposure battling out with the LA Blaze, and this match has a ton of importance. I keep trying to figure out the points on the fly, and it keeps biting me because every little thing that can go wrong still can flop everything on its head. So Southern Exposure currently playing for either first or third place. They cannot even get second.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to ask why, but good to know. First or third.
Yep.
So they've solidified their ticket
yep.
to event number 4.
Now on the side of LA Blaze, they are, I believe, still in this contention, but it's going to require a quick win, and because they're going to be going to tiebreakers. So I'm not going to try to get that exactly right. It's whether it's they need the points, they need to win.
Okay.
So it's 3 or 4 sets, but they might actually be so tight in their point run that it goes to a set count where every set matters. So if you're the Blaze and you're a Blaze fan, you want to see a 3-0 win, plain and simple.
Okay, so that's good to know. They need to win in 3 or 4, which is good for them considering Southern Exposure played until 10 o'clock last night. That 5-set win that they got over the Utah Stingers in that battle.
Yep.
So hopefully LA Blaze can come out of the gates on point, quickly, on fire, if you will, and really get off on the right foot.
If I'm not mistaken, right now the only things that are actually locked in across the league is Dallas Tornadoes 5th, Matadors 4th. The other 8 spots are all up in the air.
Okay.
So
good to know.
We've got a lot of things going on, but
better get the abacus out and the chalkboard. Start working on those formulas like we've been talking about.
Yeah,
and,
I wouldn't have thought with only 4 teams left to play that we wouldn't know 8 team spots. It really speaks to how balanced the league is. Everyone can beat anyone, and it's just a matter of the day, what roster you got out there, and how they're playing. It speaks to the quality of volleyball across the NVA.
Absolutely. Couldn't ask for more excitement.
Those are the standings right now that you can see. So on the side of Southern Exposure, we're going to do a quick rundown here. We're going to see on the outside, number 11, Kevin Rockline. We're going to see number 2, Eddie Moushikhian. We're going to see a return in the middle for Uchenna Ofoha, as well as Chad Mercado on the right. And then we're going to see Evan McDonough making a return after last night making his debut. That's going to be Gomez in the black jersey. And a little bit of flair here for you. Playing his 3rd position this week is the setter, and that's going to be D'Agostino. Played outside last night after being their starting libero.
Yeah.
On the side of the LA Blaze.
Very interesting.
On the side of the Blaze, you got Pablo Guzman on the outside, opposite of Travis O'Gorman. You got Ricky Massanet wearing white. Coach player Edison Joe, number 16. In the middle, you got Pedro Nieves, I assume opposite of Jonathan Rodriguez. Didn't quite see that. And number 1, Steven Morales on the right side.
I believe it's Greg Faulkner, actually.
Was it Greg?
Yep.
Okay. They've got that big core of 3 guys that are kind of interchangeable there. All right, D'Agostino here with the float serve. Low and tight. Edison Cho backside, and a big swing from Guzman makes a statement coming out early.
LA Blaze loves to set Pablo the first ball of a match, especially of a set. Saw it last night, too. Always traditionally their first server. Let's see what he has in store here.
Jump serve toss, spun, and it gets Rockline. An aggressive left to right tailing jump serve. Jump serve once again. Taken by Gomez, great pass, goes to the Bic from Moushikhian, dug by Massanet. Joe to O'Gorman. O'Gorman finds the high hand touch, and that's a kill. A 3-0 lead out of the gate for the Blaze. Certainly a great response and much needed after being on a 6-match losing streak.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a long way to go in this match, Nick, but they are off to a good start.
Set to Rockline challenges, line but dug there by Massanet. Chopped in by Morales. D'Agostino to Ofoha. Ofoha covered there. Going backside now, Rockline chisels that in, dug by Joe. Morales sets the outside. O'Gorman hammers hard angle, and that one's gonna be in. He finds the point. Huge angle swing, 4-0. LA Blaze lighting the court on fire right now.
Great angle there from Travis O'Gorman. Played his college volleyball at George Mason University. Played for Jay Hosack there. Oh!
And you can see why he was playing some high-level ball there.
Man,
got a cannon.
For his size, he does have one of the bigger arms in the league. And he's a good jumper as well.
He's one of those guys that he excels offensively, but some teams target him as a passer. So if he's able to shore that up, he's definitely a threat. Set to the outside for Mercado. Mercado, hard angle. That one's funneled into the net.
Call guys like Travis sneaky good, right?
Yep.
Little undersized as an outside hitter. Good jumper. Crazy fast, strong arm. See a timeout here at 6-0, called by Southern Exposure. They want to talk about it a little bit. Try to see how they can extinguish this start from LA Blaze.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of those things that Blaze sometimes is an emotionally roller coaster driven team. They're up and down. Sometimes they argue calls that, whether they're right or wrong, the big thing that is important to focus on is, and they want to pay attention to just what they're focused on the court. And right now, it's just don't worry about what happens with the refs. Control your game. Don't let yourself get derailed. They're just so emotionally motivated. I just want to challenge them, and I hope that they can kind of just keep it together and keep their machine rolling.
Yeah, hopefully they all realize what's on the line here in terms of this match and getting a win in 3 or 4 sets and what it can do for them to extend their season. With so much up in the air, being able to control your own destiny is rare for these teams right now, but the Blaze can definitely do that with a good solid win right here, and they're off to a good start.
Gomez with a hand pass. Swung by Rockline, dug by Joe. Bump set from Massanet. And a big swing there from Morales. The Blaze rolls on. Battled with by Moushikhian. Ofoha goes through the middle there and beats Nieves for the first point for the Southern Exposure.
Southern Exposure gets off the bagel thanks to the Canadian middle blocker on their squad who did a nice job on that quick attack.
Massanet gets an overpass. That's going to be a back row from Edison Joe. Aggressive move there from Ofoha. Gets that move to go from Joe and gets a nice reward for point number 2, Southern Exposure.
Ofoha going for the overpass kill. Swung and a miss, which resulted in Eddie with the back row attack.
Yep. Now Rockline going after Massanet once again. Oh, that's a tough one. If you're the libero there for Gomez, gets a great dig, but a net there.
Called the net on number 2, Eddie Moushikhian, 5'11" outside hitter from Santa Clarita, California. Here's Pedro Nieves now, the KG veteran middle blocker from Puerto Rico.
Aggressive float serve. Rockline completely out of system. Bump set over the shoulder. Moushikhian takes the setter out. And now Gorman swings into that, and that goes in. Huge kill there. A return point for Mercado. Shuts down O'Gorman.
Very interesting to see Kyle D'Agostino playing setter today after playing outside hitter last night and libero on Friday. So 3 positions in 3 days.
Quick set to Faulkner, tipped over the top, using all of that vertical space up there.
Typical setter for Southern Exposure is Derek Sullivan, who currently has on his sweatpants and warm-up t-shirt, so perhaps he's a little fatigued from last night, and this is just purely load management for him.
Could be. Morales with a jump serve, catches Rockline. Rockline having a little bit of trouble in service heat right now. Normally a very, very consistent passer, struggling just a bit. Hubbard-Neil, our man of the match from last night, on the bench, so he's someone you can always look to if you need to make a change.
Yep. I think he would be the first outside hitter to come in if need be.
Back set, Mercado cranks it down the line,
Massanet.
but a nice dig by Massanet. Goes for round two. High line. Oh, there's a big net missed. Looped over the top, dug by Rockline. Quick set to the outside. Moushikhian, hard and high hit. Show goes to the big. Pablo Guzman, dug.
Nice rally by both teams. Good effort on both sides. Maximum effort, as they say. Greg Faulkner working hard in the middle to open up that big attack for his teammate Pablo Guzman.
We're sitting at 11-3, an 8-point lead. Certainly a shocking retaliation on the side of Blaze. Quick set to the middle, and there it is, Evan McDonough getting the job done.
I see what you did there.
I like that one a little bit more than some of the other ones I come up with. We talked a bit about him last night. Was a varsity swimmer, recruited to college, swim collegiately, retired from swimming and played 2 years of college club volleyball, and is now in his third year of playing volleyball and decided to do so in the NVA. A physical specimen and guy always eager to learn. Southern Exposure sees a ton of value in him as a person and player. So,
you know, for a guy his size, he is agile and quick. You can tell he's still got, you know, some learning to do about specific touches and plays. But from a size advantage and length of his arms,
yep,
watch out.
He might have one of the highest point of contacts in the league as well.
Hopefully he's got a connection between himself and D'Agostino, the new setter for Southern Exposure.
Based on D'Agostino's height and his vertical prowess, I think D'Agostino can just kind of launch one straight up and find him. Massanet takes him out of serve receive there. Triple block is swung over.
Pablo Guzman attacking the line blocker, which was D'Agostino, in that three-man block. Great vision by him. Credit to Pablo for coming in hot.
That's a great assessment of your blocking scheme right there by Essen Joe. He sees the right blocking move, knows who to go to take complete advantage of that. So a former China national team member, certainly no surprise that he's got that experience.
Yeah, those young setters out there that might be watching this always have to know who your matchups are, your hitters against their blockers. Be able to expose those advantages for your squad.
All right, now 14-6, still an 8-point lead, and Blaze in a position to double the score. Well, they've already doubled, but to extend this lead to 10-point heading into that technical timeout. Step number one now complete.
Southern Exposure not getting a good start. We'll see our first substitution here. You called it, Nick. Tyler Hubbard-Neil coming in for
Rockline there.
Rockline, Kevin Rockline. So Tyler Hubbard-Neil scored about 28 points last night.
Yep.
Had an amazing offensive performance in that 5-set victory over the Utah Stingers.
A nice pass from Hubbard-Neil right off the bench. He's the target. A little bit of a tight pass from D'Agostino getting up just fine. No Foha there to hammer that one home. Point for Exposure. D'Agostino now means a back row setter. Mercado front row. It's going to be the biggest front row we will see for Southern Exposure. Time to capitalize, see if they can run a couple real points. Just wide. And that's going to take us into the technical timeout. We'll be right back after a couple quick commercials. Stay tuned.
Meet Tom. Tom is the shipping manager for an e-commerce company specializing in unique, high-end home furnishings. Because these aren't your typical everyday pieces, Tom's often biting his nails every time a shipment leaves the warehouse. His discerning customers will notice every ding, dent, or scratch, which is why Tom trusts one company, RPM Expedite's dedicated network. RPM specializes in hard-to-handle freight that needs a reliable, damage-free shipping approach. RPM boasts 99.3% damage-free delivery. RPM also makes it easy for Tom to customize his shipments. With pricing options, and for transparency and peace of mind, Tom can access RPM's online portal for booking, tracing, and tracking shipments. And of course, if he ever has questions or needs assistance, Tom can always access RPM's round-the-clock customer service. Call RPM Expedite today for your customized, hard-to-handle shipping solution, or visit us online at www.rpmexpediteusa.com.
And we are back underway after that technical timeout, 16-7. This is a brutal, brutal awakening for Southern Exposure after a tough fought match last night. LA Blaze getting after it. A lot of miscommunication there. Edison Joe throws it deep, tries to go after Gomez. Ofoha once again the answer, and right now Ofoha feels like the only offensive solution.
Yeah, the only bright spot right now for Southern Exposure is Ofoha.
He's got 3 kills right now besides him, Evan McDonough. So it seems like they've got kills in the middle only, and besides that, nothing. That's a weird, weird situation that only your middles have kills.
Well,
here we are.
You're right. I agree. I concur. Followed up by a missed serve. Pedro Nieves now serving at 17-8.
Gomez, a little bit of a tight pass. D'Agostino with the one-handed back set. Mercado managing that one like a pro. Sees open court in the corner, throws it all the way to another zip code right there.
LA Blaze was not expecting that shot to come from Chad Mercado, but successful in that attempt.
Ofoha hits the cross-court jump serve. Quick set to Faulkner, punched up by Mercado. Quick back set to Mercado, and Mercado breaks the block. Overpass. Now D'Agostino back to Mercado for number 3, but number 3 goes into the pin. A lot of difficulty finding a way to score right now.
Mercado finding the antenna. That's not legal yet when your attack hits the antenna and stays in bounds.
Yet? Is that part of the next rule set for the FIVB and the NVA?
Might have heard a rumor.
Morales with the jump serve, taken by Gomez, backside. Mercado gets the setback, gets the touch that time off of O'Gorman. That's going to be a point for Exposure, down by 8 still.
Nice rebound by Mercado. After that, 2 not errors, but zeros followed up by an error.
Mercado with an aggressive float. Joe airs one out to the outside. O'Gorman rips line. Hubbard-Neil tracks it down. D'Agostino airs that one out to give his guys time to reset. Now a quick set to the backside. Morales goes down the line. Dug by Hubbard-Neil. Joe goes back to the outside now, and O'Gorman swings into the corner in the one-on-one opportunity against D'Agostino. The height mismatch is taken well advantage of.
Nice setting choices by Edison Zhao there. And here comes Derek Sullivan into the match, and Lou Rich. So we're seeing a double sub here as Tim Lou Rich comes in for Kyle D'Agostino. So Southern Exposure employing the double sub strategy to have 3 hitters through the front row. Lou Rich, McDonough, and Moushikhian, excuse me.
O'Gorman now with the jump serve. Nice pass by Moushikhian. Go to McDonough, but dug on the off block there by Guzman. O'Gorman hammers deep.
O'Gorman with a hitting error there as that one goes out of bounds long.
Float serve to Guzman. Morales blocked back. Triple block. Lurich pulls that one back off the net. We didn't get a chance to talk too much about it, but we see Sullivan and Lurich making their return to the court right now.
LA Blaze with a substitution as well as Greg Faulkner comes out for number 10, Rafael Cruz. We've seen Cruz throughout the weekend be utilized as a serving substitute and also an outside hitter. I like this substitution by Coach Bugs.
Gomez once again the target. Miscommunication there from Sullivan and McDonough. Honestly though, if you're down by 10 points like this, it is not only extremely uncharacteristic of Southern Exposure. At this point, if I'm them, I kind of want to start forcing everything I can to just get people back on the same page, because you're not going to come back and win this, almost guaranteed. So get ready for set number 2.
Yeah, get ready for set number 2. Try to create some momentum on your side. Get a nice couple run of points. Establish the connections and see what you can do.
Nice crack down the line by Lurich. Gets the overpass on the dig. McDonough unable to stay out of the net though. Rafa misses that one short.
Faulkner comes back in, reverses that substitution now. Blaze with a 10-point lead, and we'll see McDonough with his next service attempt.
McDonough missed his first one long, able to corral that one in. Edison Show goes backside to Morales. Moushikhian unable to come up with the dig. Now what we saw that drove Southern Exposure to such exceptional success last night was their block touches against Stingers. They were really able to slow down the Stingers offense, play around it, get some digs. Right now everything is just funneling right on through, so they've got to try to find a way to clean that up. Good swing off the block there for Lurich. Now at 23-13, D'Agostino hammers a jump serve. O'Gorman lays out to keep that one alive. And now
Morales with a nice swing against those 3 blockers.
Yep.
LA Blaze now have set point. Probably their strongest server steps back to the inline, Pablo Guzman.
Morales took an elbow to the eye there. We've got a set point number 1 at 24-13.
Oh.
Cardinal rule number 1, don't miss serve on set point.
One of the 7 deadly sins of serving, Nick.
Hubbard-neil hammers this one, and that's gonna, I think, appropriately summarize the match for Southern Exposure, missing a serve to end the set 1.
Tale of 2 different teams right now, Nick. Credit to LA Blaze with that terrific start, coming out with a strong sense of urgency, getting up early, 7-0. Haven't seen them start a match like this all season. Coach Bugs clearly getting her team fired up.
Yep.
Ready to take care of business. Southern Exposure trying out a new lineup, tinkering with some different faces and different roles, and it's just going to be curious to see how they respond now.
Certainly are. You talk about a team with many looks. Mercado not quite firing on all cylinders just yet, but it's hard to know if that might just be some set selection that wasn't quite what he wanted from D'Agostino. We don't really know exactly what the plan is there. So Sullivan looks like he's throwing his shirt back on. I don't know if they're going right back to D'Agostino to try and give him another nod or what. Well, but maybe to stay warm. It's tough.
Yeah, we will find out in about 2 short minutes right after these words from our sponsors.
Flow state, the trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. Now come on. Close.
Well, that is certainly a tough start for Southern Exposure. Took a look at the stats there. The most shocking one, the only positive point scorer right now, that means across the board, blocking contribution, hitting, serving, anything like that, Uchenna Ofoha. Every other player was negative. And in case you're not sure, that is absolutely a one-way ticket on how to lose a match real quick.
Real quick, absolutely. Yeah, you need a few more players in positive numbers and a few less in the negatives if you do want to potentially get a win, especially in the NBA where all these teams are as evenly paired as they are.
Yep.
You do need to make some production from your outside hitters, your other middle blocker. One guy in positive who spends half the time on the bench as a middle blocker is not a winning formula for the team from Southern Exposure.
Certainly not, and as impressive as the win over the Stingers was last night for Southern Exposure, it really speaks to momentum kind of not really being a thing. You've got to show up every single time. Just because you got one big win doesn't really mean much at all. You've got to show up every single match.
Yeah, especially today. It's the last day of the regular season. These teams are fighting for a ticket to the final weekend event, single elimination tournament format. And where they seed will depend on who they play. There's Ira Thor on a very important phone call. Meanwhile, we're set to go here as Eddie Zhao ready to start action in set number 2.
Serves Hubbard-neil type pass, but easily handled by D'Agostino, who makes his return. Ofoha there in the middle. D'Agostino back in the lineup. Besides that, it looks like well, there's a kind of a mixture of where they started and where they ended. Mercado back on the court. Hubbard-neil opposite of Moushikhian.
D'Agostino with the serve.
Now outside, going to be a tight ball. That one's going to go wide. No touch there. That's going to be a point for Southern Exposure.
I'm very curious to see how LA Blaze come out and start this set number 2 after winning set one in such a convincing fashion, Nick. I think it's not quite their comfort zone to have won a game so easily. So very curious to see how they continue to apply the pressure, now down by 2.
D'Agostino with a big serve, and that's an even bigger block. Tyler Hubbard-Neil says return to sender. Here's that Blaze argument. They just need to take it after winning the game by double digits in that first one. The biggest thing, and you know, as a player, and I don't know if you feel the same way, I'd be very curious to hear, anytime I win a match that substantially, it makes me think that it's such a fluke. I almost get nervous for set 2 because I don't feel confident that I'm about to see the same team by any means.
Yeah, so my only rebuttal to that is lack of confidence and a little nervousness that you may be experiencing. But really, it's about how you play your game, right? Doesn't matter what the other team does. You just had a great set. You won by 10, 11 points. You don't need to change what you're doing, obviously. You got to continue to create that momentum and hold it on your side. And that's what LA Blaze is struggling with right now. Fortunately, they're now on the board, but they did give up 4 points to start that set, and Southern Exposure maintains the momentum.
A little bit of the same story we saw earlier, right? You know, a 4-point run to start off the game, except for this time it's for the guys in blue. High ball, Gomez trying to lead it off the ceiling, unable to come up with that one. But our man Ira Thor sure to come up with some nuggets. Ira, over to you.
Thanks, guys. Between sets, I spoke with coaches OJ Catalan and Tony Glessner and just talked about what happened in the first set. And they're like, we know LA Blaze is coming out playing, this is for their season. We have to give our setters something better to work with, do a better job of utilizing those first passes to create some offense. And then he stressed to the outside hitters, listen, you guys got to come through when the sets are there. LA played a very clean first set. There were not a lot of touches. They feel as if they can slow them down a little bit. This is their match to win. They're used to coming back in these situations, and they feel like there's no reason they can't do so here tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much. We see a little bit of miscommunication from LA Blaze. That ball comes over. O'Gorman able to lay up a nice bump set there for Morales on the right side. Now we see a right side to set over there to Hubbard-Neil a little bit inside, and that brings him right into the breadbasket of the double block of Nieves and O'Gorman. Blaze all over, taking advantage of that one.
And just like that, we're tied at 4 points apiece. Pablo Guzman on a nice service run here.
One-handed set to Mercado. Mercado misses the hands and the court there. Interesting to see that, you know, Gomez has been pretty good, had a couple sprayed passes, but it's interesting that Blaze is focusing him right now as their serving target for most of their guys.
Yeah, I want to circle back on what Ira said as far as emphasizing the good pass so that D'Agostino can run their middles. Not going to be able to do that if you cannot pass the ball consistently into the middle of the court and the top of the tape.
Yeah, especially going back to our point that Uchenna Ofoha was the only one hitting positive points there. Like, you've got to get him back involved if that's the case.
Yep.
Quick back set, Nieves with a quick tip over the top. Nieves, a member of the, or a former member of the Puerto Rican national team. I believe he still trains with them. One of those guys that has just a wealth of experience. Jonathan Rodriguez on the bench, another middle with the same resume. Moushikhian with a great pass. Mercado hammers it down the line, taking advantage of his size mismatch there against O'Gorman.
Yeah, O'Gorman and Faulkner just not developing that block right where Coach Bugs wanted him to. Nieves lets them know there was a seam that Southern Exposure took advantage of there.
Ofoha with a big toss. Goes for a deep jump serve. Ricky Massanet barely lets that one go. And now back to Morales. Morales had a couple good serving runs in the first set. See if he can extend another one here in the second. D'Agostino back set to Mercado. Mercado rolls over the top, picked up by Massanet, kept alive by Morales. Guzman swings Doug, and now Gomez sets it to the outside. Mercado chips over the sideline, and that's a great controlled swing. Right now, Mercado not having a lot of success with his power shots, but his tips and rolls are working for the time being.
Mercado taking a page out of the beach book there and just giving it a little right side cutty. Cross court for the winner. Finds the open piece of real estate.
Mercado with a float. Faulkner set is behind him. It's surprising when you see that misconnect. Faulkner, a relatively high flyer. Edison Joe even taller than he is. Eddie's just got to feed that in front of him. Kind of loses that behind him there. Not much Greg can do.
Greg needs to also stay off the net a touch. He was a little bit tight, I think, so 2 negatives don't make a positive there.
There you got it. Insight from a former NCAA All-American himself, Mr. Matt Prosser. O'Gorman, the high flyer, looking for aggressive rips right now from the end line. As far as I'm concerned, he's a guy that you give the green light to hit that serve as hard as you can every time.
And he tends to do exactly that, Nick.
There it is. Hubbard-neil with a pass that has one option, but Moushikhian, the shortest guy on the court, maybe saved D'Agostino, battling with that triple block. And
check our
gets a great
stats
kill.
here. D'Agostino coming in at 5'10". Eddie Moushikhian, 5'11".
It's a game of inches.
Or an inch.
An inch. Moushikhian now with the float. Guzman tips over the top. McDonough punches that one. Step close from Hubbard-neil. Dug by Massanet. Now O'Gorman hammers the bick over the head of Mercado, and that's going to find line.
Well played. Nice attack in transition from O'Gorman. Coming out of the back row on the bick pattern.
Tied at 9 apiece.
What in the heck was that?
Greg Faulkner saved that ball saved from going under the net by hitting a teammate.
He's trying to explain himself, but
The words don't. I don't know words for that one. Tool off the block, Uchenna Ofoha and D'Agostino. Good pass by Hubbard-neil. D'Agostino goes to the middle. Uchenna Ofoha there, Doug. Over on 2. Dag now bump sets back to Mercado. Big swing, Doug up. Dag airs it out to Hubbard-neil, who cranks it high and gets the touch. Yep, off of Nieves. No discussion from him, catches the finger. Hubbard-neil was having a ton of success with those kind of swings last night with such big blockers from the Stingers in front of him, challenging a lot of high hands. Off speed, taken by Nieves. Out to Morales, but the double block of Mercado and Ofoha waiting. That's what we talked about. They were having success last night off the back of their block. Return to form right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see them form a good, solid 2-man block against Morales. Don't necessarily like that contact Morales made with that ball, but see if they can change it up this time.
Now Guzman challenges high line. That's a very, very high IQ swing, identifying where the block is and makes sure to swing hard, high, and safe. Gets rewarded with a point. Going after Gomez again, completely out of system. One option with Hubbard-neil. Does not find the high hands that time.
Nope. Not even close on that one. 12 serving 12 now. Pablo Guzman went on a nice service run in game number 1. See if he can repeat that here in game 2.
After Gomez, there's a big from Moushikhian, and Moushikhian, the King College alumni, getting a huge kill.
Well played by Southern Exposure there. Nicely timed big attack out of the back row, all off of that great pass to start the play.
Hubbard-neil gets a perfect pass off of his serve. Ooh, O'Gorman goes a little off speed, takes all the spin off that ball, drops that in. Nobody home to pick that one up.
Travis O'Gorman showing his own range. Nice to see that creativity coming from number 12 in red.
Certainly is. Normally someone that shows his range by his ability to hit hard, a different variety of spots. Hard, off speed, not usually something you see, but great execution there all the same. One-handed set from D'Agostino. Gomez is having some trouble back there right now.
Yeah, if one thing that Southern Exposure should really emphasize on is passing.
Yep.
Without a good pass, especially with D'Agostino's setting, look, D'Agostino's a great volleyball player. He's fast, he's quick. But if he can't utilize all of his weapons, offensively speaking, it's going to be a long night for Southern Exposure.
Quick set to a Foha. And there's the middle connection we've been talking about off the back of a great pass.
Yeah, that pass was on the money. D'Agostino took advantage of it, sets a Foha for the kill.
Big jump serve toss again. Targets O'Gorman. O'Gorman passes that too tight. Edison Joe barely saves that one from going over with a back row attack from him, but as a result, goes too far outside, and O'Gorman cannot corral that one back over.
Yeah, just like that, Southern Exposure take the lead back. Neck and neck battle here.
Ofoha going deep, targets Massanet. Quick set to the outside, O'Gorman tries to wheel and deal, but that one's gonna be in. Good control by Mercado to funnel it back. That set is too tight.
That brings us to our first and only technical timeout at 16, serving 14. We'll get a quick word from our sponsors and see you right back here after that.
The flow state. The trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
And we are back after that quick message from our sponsors, and we are going to be getting right back into the action here. 16-14, a 2-point lead for Southern Exposure. Couple things still going wrong for them. They've really got to shore up their passing, but we're seeing some signs of life. It's good to see them coming back, not rolling over and just calling it over. Ooh. Ooh. And that was a double if I've ever seen one. No call there, but Moushikhian says, I'll take +1 for my kill stat.
Let him play, Nick. Just let him play. Okay? You're not a referee. You don't have a whistle in your mouth.
No, I don't, but I can call you what it looks like. And I'm a guy that'll always defend letting guys play. That one was so mishandled. It went over the net as a result.
It was not pretty.
No.
It was not pretty.
Ofoha misses that one. Sends McDonough a little message from the back row. Says, hey, buddy. Just remember, I'm still back here, center.
Yep. The reason why blockers now stand with their hands behind their heads. That's exactly why.
Morales goes after Hubbard-Neil. D'Agostino tracks it down. Step close from Moushikhian. Dug by Guzman. Set to O'Gorman. O'Gorman blocked again, covered. Third one's got to go now. Step close from Morales. And that one goes way over the top.
That was from the play before. Blaze are begging for a net touch. Not going to get it. Wasting energy on argumentations.
Said it at the beginning of the match. Wasted energy.
Yep. Waste of energy and lack of focus is what arguing with the referees do.
Bostonette's going to take second ball. O'Gorman swinging into the tape.
And just like that, Blaze have now established a 4-point lead here.
Timeout called for the Blaze. Sure, go ahead. And the teams are heading back onto the court now with a 4-point lead, 19-15. See Blaze faltering just a little bit after a massive blowout in the first. It's all on them right now to see if they can right their ship.
Well, Mercado, see what kind of wizardry he pulls out from the end line. Nice serve, pass by Guzman. Morales with the winner, high off the McDonough block.
Nice high swing.
As Travis O'Gorman now will prepare to serve for the LA Blaze.
We talked about how big of a server he was earlier. We'll see if he gets right back after it. Indeed he does, but Hubbard-Neil tries to battle it out. Little bit of a misconnection on that back one between McDonough and Dag.
I don't quite understand that set choice, but we may never know. Actually, the referees weren't involved in that play, Nick.
That serve's going to go in the net from O'Gorman, but he gets a reel. Big jump serve now. Taken well by Massanet. Greg Faulkner gets involved, and that's his first authoritative kill that we've seen out of him.
We talked about that a couple minutes ago after that first misconnect. Nice to see Greg Faulkner come back and get that kill, and we'll see a serving substitution for Greg Faulkner since his last attempt was not suitable for
any volleyball level anywhere. Rafael Cruz now to serve.
Ouch.
McDonough getting up. Hey, I love to keep things positive, keep it a buck, and give everyone a chance, but serving under the net at this level of volleyball is not excusable in any form.
Unexcusable and unacceptable.
One of about 3 actions I can't condone and even begin to justify.
That's one. What are the other 2?
We'll soon find out.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Rockline coming in as a serving substitution here.
Making his return. Goes after Guzman, high set middle court. Nieves gets the set over the shoulder of Joe. Mercado's going to send that one deep. O'Gorman happy to watch it out. McDonough going to go ahead and undo the serving substitution, and Gomez will return to the court.
Li Zhao, 19 serving 21.
Quick set to the outside. Hubbard-Neil gets the touch. Does
Great
not
no
get the
call.
touch.
Great no call. I didn't see a touch either. I think technically you and I are closer to the action than the linesman.
I thought I saw one, but I couldn't tell you either way, and certainly wouldn't defend it, so trust the guys in blue. Float serve by Edison Zhou. Moushikhian with a great pass and a one-handed punch dig keeps that alive. A little bit of chaos here, set to the outside. Hubbard-Neil trying to bring some calmness to the storm. Bump set to the right side. Morales sends that one launched out the back of the court.
Untimely hitting error right there by Steven Morales. Looked like he was aiming for some fingertips. Unfortunately, those fingertips were not that high. Therefore, the ball sails out of bounds long.
Yeah, that's the thing is Southern Exposure uses a lot of more undersized outside hitters, so it kind of changes that look. Not as many high hands that you might be hoping for. So you've got to find them and be kind of crafty when you're swinging at them. Big jump serve from D'Agostino at O'Gorman. Now we see a bump set coming over, mishandled by Gomez. Hubbard-Neil puts a down ball in, dug by Massanet. Set outside, and that one's going long too.
Heated action here.
Certainly is. Southern Exposure not going to have too much to say other than D'Agostino trying to slow it down.
Not much argument back from Southern Exposure, so linesman got it right. Good call by our up ref.
Lead to just one though for Southern Exposure. I think a warning is probably being issued right now.
Well, I think someone had a few choice words for our up ref here, and he's just making sure Pablito understands who can speak and say what to the referee before some colored cards start being administered.
Guzman serves to the hands of Gomez, gets a hold of that one, and now Hubbard-Neil gets a hold of that set. Great swing down the line, puts Southern Exposure in striking range here, 23-21.
That was a great response there from Tyler Hubbard-Neil, who's now our next server.
To no surprise that he's the guy with the answer after last night's performance. Tough and uncharacteristic misserve there. Someone that's been ice cold from the back line. Used in the past by Exposure as a serving substitution and earned his way into a starting spot as an outside for them most of the time. Nieves targets him. D'Agostino goes back across Mercado, and Mercado finally able to find a big swing. You talk about being timely. All of the errors in the world might put you in tough spots, but if you get to a score that matters at 24-22, that's when you've got to put a ball away. Mercado able to take care of it there for Exposure. Could not be a better time in the match to find that kill. Ofoha now with the jump serve. Back set to Massanet. The killer libero sets it over. Backside, Mercado goes for that dump again. Slapped alive by Massanet. Now O'Gorman tries to step close and chisels that off the block of Mercado.
Blaze are fortunate that they were able to continue that rally. Some questionable set locations there, but O'Gorman able to score the point as Morales now set to serve. 23 serving 24. Jump serve. Mercado runs
keeps
it
it alive. D'Agostino tips it over. Now O'Gorman hammers that ball into the middle of the court, and Blaze answers back, tied at 24 apiece. We're going to go to some extra innings.
24 all. Been a while since we had a deuce game, Nick. Southern Exposure's used to it after last night's match, but
Yeah, they went 5 sets going deuce every time, if I'm not mistaken.
you are not mistaken. Quick floor wipe, some sweat maintenance, and then a timeout called by Coach Catalan.
Southern Exposure using every little strategy they can to just slow the game down. So right now, we've seen Southern Exposure. They opened up a 4-point lead early on in the set. Now it's been whittled back away. What do you want to see from them if you're their coach right now?
That's a great question, Nick. Obviously, got to get the ball up to the net so that Kyle D'Agostino, the libero playing outside hitter, playing setter today, has 3 options or 4 options to set offensively. So I'm saying focus on the pass first, let the rest of it take care of itself.
First ball is the most important one. Get that pass. Everything follows in suit.
In theory, that's how it should work.
Well, I can guarantee if you don't pass the first one, it certainly doesn't follow.
Precisely.
Jump serve now from Morales. Good pass from Hubbard-Neil. McDonough, what better time to turn it on. Huge kill from him there, attacking that sideline.
Big Evan McDonough. Nice side out, cut back kill right there out of the middle. See a blocking slash setting substitution. That's convenient.
Just upgrade the size of your setter for your other setter.
And set point once again for Southern Exposure.
Mercado floats. D-ball goes back. Morales sends it long after 3 missed swings in a row, I think, for him. Just not getting any contact going his way. And that's going to be the ball game at 26-24.
An unfortunate way to see that set end if you're a fan of the LA Blaze.
But if you're a fan of volleyball, definitely not a problem, as we are going to go extra innings. We'll be right back after a few messages from our sponsors.
Flow state, the trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. No, come on. Closer. Good pass, put it down.
I'm training for my 6th Olympics. More than ever before, I have to work hard to stay in shape. I run, I lift, I do yoga. That means sore knees, sore back, sore everything. KT Tape helps me push past the pain.
Used by athletes around the world and at home, just like you. KT Tape relieves the pain of aching muscles and joints. Perform at your best. Easy to apply. Use it from any common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
And we are back here for set number 3 at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California. Second to last match of a weekend full of volleyball. Southern Exposure and LA Blaze ready to duke it out for the 3rd set. All right, we see a chip over the top taken by Mercado. Jag goes to the middle. Ofoha swings through. Massanet off balance, saves it. Charles Belvin in now. Belvin goes for a big turn block, not able to find it. Belvin is replacing number 1 on the opposite, Steven Morales. Belvin's someone we haven't seen a whole lot of this weekend, which is a bit surprising. Normally one of the floor captains and spark plugs for this LA Blaze machine. Look for him to get going early. Serve in the net there from D'Agostino. Jump serve taken by Moushikhian outside, and that swing goes just, yep, okay. Up ref overrules, calls that one in.
Okay.
The up ref always has the ability to overrule anyone that he might have a better vantage on, so he thinks he's got a better view on that one.
He is the man in charge.
Yep. Hubbard-neil now. Massanet with a great pass. Getting Nieves involved, and Nieves hammers that one in.
Getting a little chippy here, a lot of conversation about ins and outs, touches or no touches. Focus on the game, gentlemen.
Nieves now floating, attacking Moushikhian. Offset, Mercado has to manage. Nieves lays out, Belvin bumps at the outside. O'Gorman hammers that one in. Out of system, no problem at all. Great close and adjustment there from O'Gorman to hammer that one into the middle of the court. Using all of that high flying abilities there. Nieves now goes deep. That one is in.
Get more.
Oh, overruled. That's a tough one when it hits the ref on the line judge at their feet. It gets very difficult to tell exactly where that goes because you can be over top of it and it can be over the line, but if it does not touch the line, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's pretty much the worst possible positioning to be in as a line judge.
Back set now to Belvin, and there's the firepower we were talking about. Belvin cranks that one fresh off the bench.
Wow. Belvin with some serious heat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Belvin now goes after Gomez. Seems like Gomez is the serving target. Now Belvin gets a dig in transition to O'Gorman. O'Gorman gets multiple touches. You love to see that kind of energy coming off the bench. Charles Belvin finding a dig there with a monstrous defensive effort.
Belvin coming in and making an impact.
Dag now in system, goes to McDonough. McDonough slowed down by the block, dug by Belvin, outside set, and that one's gonna funnel through the top. And right now, the sheer physicality of the pin hitters for the LA Blaze is carrying them through. A ton of energy. Belvin, O'Gorman, the high flyers are doing some damage to Southern Exposure.
Belvin providing a big spark off the bench for his team.
And an even bigger serve with an ayah swing from Moushikhian, covered by Gomez. Tough set from Dag, tipped over the top, picked up by O'Gorman off blocker defense. D-ball, step close from Belvin, dug by D'Agostino. Tyler Hubbard-Neil tracks it down. Moushikhian free ball's overtaken by Massanet. Into the middle from Greg Faulkner, paintbrushes it into the corner, might have some backspin, but it's got the right spin. That's gonna be a point going for the Blaze.
I don't know if that was a full paintbrush, but let's call it an off speed to the corner.
Sure, I was calling it a paintbrush with the backspin. He certainly got a hold of it, so it didn't just fall over the top, but wasn't a top spin swing. Belvin fires that one after a 3-point run. Misses on his fourth serve, but like you said, Matt, a ton of energy off the bench already with a kill, 3 serves and 2 digs to add to that. Mercado gets a nice bounce off the tape. And Faulkner gets another great swing into the corner. Edison Joe finding him a little bit better. Their connection's been a bit off. You know, you said earlier, Greg a little too tight, Edison a little behind him. They've kind of shored that up, and now we're seeing Greg Faulkner do what he does best. He's played overseas professional volleyball a multitude of times. Now back home is an assistant coach for the Cal State Northridge Matadors, where he played his college ball. O'Gorman swings long.
Yeah, Greg Faulkner with a high volleyball IQ. Definitely helping out the Blaze with that mindset and abilities.
Moushikhian goes deep in with that one. Faulkner tips over the top, picked up by Mercado. Dag goes to the outside. Hubbard-Neil swings high, but dug by O'Gorman. Bump set, and now taking off his feet is Gomez. Moushikhian tracks it down. Hubbard-Neil tries to step close and swing. A lot of miscommunication. Mercado wanted to play it safe to free ball it over. Hubbard-Neil wanted to continue the aggression. Either one fine in its own right, but you can't do either one 50%.
Yeah, kind of odd situation there. Mercado should have, I think, gotten out of the way a little bit.
Yep.
Hubbard-Neil was able to get his feet to the ball, jump and hit.
Not to mention, I mean, like when you look at personnel, Hubbard-Neil's the guy that has been step closing and managing swings so well all tournament long.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys I would trust most to have that green light. So
Yep.
It's a personnel thing.
Agreed.
Tough one all the same, but Gomez now with a hand pass. McDonough misses that connection. That connection is just not there right now.
Southern Exposure might want to consider a quick timeout here. I guess their wheels are falling off a little bit. There you have it.
Well, you hit that nail on the head like a true coach yourself. Now we're going to do something a little bit different in this timeout. We're going to take it over to Ira Thor with a little bit of NVA insight. Ira, what do you got for us?
Well, I was walking around the arena and I saw some little birdies watching, and we're going to have a new segment here called Views from the Balcony, because I'm standing next to Carlo Edra, head coach of Team Freedom, who is also right now the president of the LA Blaze fan club, as obviously a lot of vested interest in this match for Team Freedom, as they are neck and neck for the top of their conference with Southern Exposure. First of all, Carlo, you guys obviously know the situation you guys are in after an 0-3 weekend. Took all 3 matches to 5, but we're a little bit short and didn't get the results.
I think we showed that, you know, Team Freedom volleyball is all about fighting. I believe we just needed a little bit more to finish. We did have a couple pieces missing, but I do not want to make that as an excuse, because we're more of a next man up type of team. The guys that came in here that played major minutes for us outside did a great job. We just had to find a better way to finish those matches.
how challenging it is for teams like you guys, Southern Exposure, the East Coast teams come all the way across the country here, and not only play 3 matches, but also play some early matches against some great competition this time of the year?
I personally don't think there was any issue with us coming coast to coast. I guess, a little adjustment to the time, but we got a good warm-up in there. Just as long as we got the body going, we were good to go. I never want to say adjusting to the time was an issue because the West Coast guys had to do it to us a couple weeks ago, so we're all on an even playing field.
Obviously, teams going in the other direction right now. You're going to have about a month's time, regardless of the outcome of this match here, whether it's you guys at the top of the standings, Southern Exposure, or something wild happens and the standings get mixed around to something we're not even discussing right now. You have a month's time to get prepared for the postseason. What's that mission going to be like? How do you get prepared, regardless of who your opponent's going to be?
I think we are just going to try to remember what happened here, that feeling of losing 3 in a row, and that's what's going to drive us during our practices. And, it's just staying hungry, not caring about how we started the season and kind of the bitter taste it's leaving in our mouth to see how we ended the regular season to kind of motivate us into getting ready for the July event.
Obviously, you've been with this team for a long time, one of the original NVA clubs here in Team Freedom, and a lot of tradition with this group. Can you just talk about the personalities on the team and what really drives this squad?
It's the brotherhood. We don't normally, there's a lot of really great players that come around that want to play with us, but you got to fit kind of the chemistry that we're looking for. We're a bunch of brothers at Team Freedom, and if you're on the court with guys that you just, play with, it's one thing, but if you're playing with your brothers, it's a much different experience, and hopefully that's what the product we're putting out there.
And the last question, you've seen Southern Exposure kind of go the other direction where they've picked things up quite a bit here in the second half of the season. You guys know each other very well. One of these 2 groups of teams that really have a lot in common. A lot of guys played against each other in college. You have to be impressed with what you've seen from them this week.
Absolutely. There's, I can't say enough good things about the coaching staff there. Fun fact for everybody, Coach OJ and Coach Glessner, they were part of Team Freedom at one point. So, nothing but love for those guys, and they've got these guys playing at the right time. They're peaking high right now. That's just kudos to those guys.
That's Coach Carlo Edra of Team Freedom with our new segment, Views from the Balcony. We'll try not to fall. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much. Great to hear a little bit more insight from across the league.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great job, Carla, Ira, and Coach Edra. Thank you for the time, both of you.
Now we're getting back into it. We're seeing Exposure down now by 2. They've been able to close up a 4-point deficit. Ooh, untimely miss from Hubbard-Neil. But we've seen Mercado able to contribute a kill and a terminal block here, getting some nice points from him. Number 13 turning it on. Exposure is certainly going to need him to continue being a workhorse if they're going to find a win here in set 3. Nieves with a float. That one goes just long. That was very close, but certainly got the right call there. Ofoha does not get the toss he wants, not quite able to manage the swing either. That one's going to go into the net. Big high set. O'Gorman using the hands. What a high flyer. Great kill for him. Nice set from off the court there from Guzman. Belvin now with a jump. Cranks that one down the line. Gomez out of system. Dag saves it. McDonough swings over the top of Moushikhian.
Wow.
A little bit of a David and Goliath story right there between those two, but
they both jumped, but obviously the taller of the two got the ball first. And the kill.
That's going to be a point for McDonough.
Oh, a little help from the equipment. Chad Mercado. Well played, sir.
He paid the toll. He slipped that $20 into the post beforehand.
You better thank the equipment too. Yeah. Pay homage.
Now Blaze taking a moment to just get dialed back in after a little bit of a sweat spot on the court after an effort was made to get that one up. Ooh, toss was just in front of Mercado, and that's going to take us into a technical timeout. And we will be right back, as always, after our 16-point technical timeout. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are facing. Second, we have fulfillment centers across the country, which gives us the flexibility to adapt and scale rapidly to customers' changing needs. Third, our clients have access to a wide range of shipping options through our network of trusted partners. And finally, our expanded portfolio of service offerings enables us to manage customers' supply chains on a global scale.
There are many solutions and strategies that can help you overcome holiday shipping challenges, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
That serve goes just long. A great iced timeout there from the technical timeout. Love to see that point going over to whoever is running that one. Travis O'Gorman not able to come out ahead. Now down by 2. Southern Exposure has to start shoring up this lead if they want to get a win here in the third set. And that serve goes just long. That might be untimely, but it is not a bad time to become a fan of the NVA. If you don't know if you've got a team that is around you that you should be a fan of, make sure to go to nvausa.com and check it out. You can see all the teams from all over the U.S. representing a variety of regions. Also, go check out NVA USA on Instagram and YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your alerts so that you can check all sorts of action, because we're live again here right after this, as well as in July as we come back to the championships. Finally, we're pumping out our YouTube series, Quest for the Cup episodes, nearly every week to let you know what's going on with the state of the league. You can join me anytime. Always love hearing from fans in the comments. We do our very best to engage because we're here to do this for you. Pro volleyball in the U.S. has been a pipe dream for a long time, but I can't think of a country more deserving of some great play with an Olympic and international presence as defined as ours. We need to continue establishing a pipeline to grow that, and that's what this is all about. We're back to the match now. Kevin Rockline on the serve.
Great point, Nick.
O'Gorman high ball out. Out of system, bump set to Belvin. But a net from Hubbard-Neil.
Wow.
That is a critical timing error right there. McDonough subs back in for Rockline. Being rally scoring, volleyball points are kind of interesting after they've been scored, in the sense that looking back, that error now feels like a 2-point error.
Yeah.
Had that not been made, it would be 16-17 instead. Now Edison Show, though. Back to serve. Pass by Hubbard-Neil, and Mercado looks to get re-involved. Dig there by O'Gorman. Free ball coming back from Guzman. Mercado's going to take first ball. And Ofoha's size makes that one easy. We talked earlier about that connection between a short setter and a tall middle that gets up very high. You just got to throw that ball up and let Ofoha do the work.
D'Agostino now back to jump serve for Southern Exposure, taking over the setting duties this evening.
Nice pass by Massanet. High off the block, dug by D'Agostino. Gomez now takes the hand pass. Does it again. Dag back in system, goes to Ofoha and lets him deal. Massanet digs. Belvin, the lefty, step close and attacks the double block of Mercado, and Ofoha able to find a way through the block there. Timely point, up by 3 now for the LA Blaze. Going to be a timeout called from the side of Southern Exposure. Coaches Catalan and Glessner want to slow things down. So once again, just to revisit here, a lot of importance. Blaze got to win this, and they got to win it quick. Southern Exposure clearly having a little bit of problem solving on their side. They're getting some points from Blaze errors, but overall, Blaze looks like they are firing far more on, they're earning the points that they want. They're running their system, so a lot easier to start mitigating errors. With Southern Exposure right now, we're kind of relying on those mistakes to stay in this game. We're looking at the stats, and we just see just a huge disparity in true earned points when you look at earned points minus errors right now. Exposure just not really pulling ahead in that category.
No, you're totally right, Nick. You touched on it. LA Blaze need to win in 3 or 4. Obviously, winning in 3 is off the table now. So it's a very pivotal game for LA Blaze. They are playing well. They're playing within themselves. Seem to be making smart choices. They've got Belvin in now in the front row, replacing Morales. And here's Guzman's jump serve, targeting Hubbard-Neil.
Now Mercado tries to make something happen, dug by Joe. Hand set by Nieves, goes backside. O'Gorman has to roll it. D'Agostino's out, so that means a set from Gomez. Hubbard-Neil unable to corral that one.
Nice discipline by LA Blaze to not jump and block on that out-of-system attack by Hubbard-Neil. Clearly, Coach Bugs wanting her blockers to stay down and force Hubbard-Neil to hit the open court, which proved that he could not in that situation.
I'd like to see him maybe go to the corner, give himself a couple more feet of court to hit. Awkward angle, but like we say, it's easy to have suggestions from back here. There's always the option to just hit the ball harder and out the back of the court off the block. Hubbard-Neil earns a point there. Southern Exposure down 17-20. They've got some time, and they've got the server back there to make the magic happen. Hubbard-Neil, a generally consistent and powerful server. See what he can get done. There it is, but a great pass by Massanet. Mercado with a high deflection, but O'Gorman is just targeting high hands and hitting with great efficiency right now.
Outside hitters for LA Blaze definitely attacking at a higher efficiency than their counterparts, adversaries from Southern Exposure.
And that's going to be kill number 13 right there for O'Gorman. Nieves goes long with his float.
Pedro Nieves with his float serve just has to dial it back just a tiny bit. He's missed, I think, 3 out of the last 4 by less than a foot out the back line.
And he's got one of those float serves that really does quite a bit of moving. So, it's that tough thing that if you take that little bit off, like we're saying, sometimes it feels like it takes a lot off. So it's just a tough one to be, in charge of, but he's got to get that one managed. And now we see a lip there from D'Agostino, but not going to go up. Charles Belvin proving to be the answer that Blaze needed to come back after that set 2 loss. Blue Ridge sub undone as a serving sub there for Ofoha. Belvin now with the jump serve. Gomez the target, as has been the case all night long. Aggressive swing from Moushikhian, but the block does not want to chase him out to that line, so he's going to miss that just barely.
Right idea by Eddie, just misses the line by less than 2 feet. Blaze now 2 points from securing the third set.
Big swing from Belvin. There's the cannon. Back set to Mercado, a little bit tight. Looks like a net miss there from Blaze, but a big swing to air that one out and bring Blaze to set point here on the third. Belvin now with the jump serve. Cranks that one with some pace off the back of Greg Faulkner. Greg happy that he had his hands back there as a little bit of a helmet. And now we see Sullivan subbing in for D'Agostino.
Coach Bugs is going to have her team spend some time practicing their jump serves. Second time we've seen one clip a teammate. Still set point.
Ooh.
And that's it. That's how that set ends.
Mercado paid the toll earlier. You said he's got to say thank you. Maybe he didn't, and the tape shut that one down. 25-18, Blaze takes set 3. Well, with that quick end of that set, we are going to take a brief break. We'll be right back for the 4th set as Blaze battles out, trying to take a crucial win here. We'll be right back.
Flow state, the trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. No, come on. Closer. Good pass, put it down.
I'm training for my 6th Olympics. More than ever before, I have to work hard to stay in shape. I run, I lift, I do yoga. That means sore knees, sore back, sore everything. KT Tape helps me push past the pain.
Used by athletes around the world and at home, just like you. KT Tape relieves the pain of aching muscles and joints. Perform at your best. Easy to apply. Use it from any common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are
Back with set number 4 about to get underway. So we just got a little clarification. The biggest thing on the line right now, LA Blaze, if they win this in 4 right now, in their head-to-head with Chicago Untouchables, their set count is the exact same. Their points are the exact same. Their match or their set count ratio is 15 and 22 both. So that's the same. It goes all the way down to point ratio.
Wow.
And their point ratio is currently, the way it is, if Blaze is able to win the set, it is not close enough that it doesn't matter the score. If they get the win, Chicago Untouchables will be eliminated from July. And after 6 straight losses, LA Blaze will be able to secure their ticket to July and head back out to San Bernardino and defend that title.
Great explanation, Nick. Unbelievable circumstances on the line.
It's been a nail-biter weekend, and what that's also going to do with Southern Exposure, I believe, is potentially drop them into 3rd, moving Stunners to 2nd, locking Freedom into 1st. I need to check that out, but there is a litany of things that are going to be going on because of this match if LA Blaze locks down a win here in the 4th set. Net on the side of Blaze. Southern Exposure catches that one off the get-go, gets a little break. Just to answer a question in the chat, Freedom is not guaranteed first place no matter what. If Southern Exposure gets a win here, they will lock in that first place. However, based on point differential spreads, I believe that if they lose here, Stunners has more points and will therefore take 2nd place over Exposure. But none of that's going to matter if number 13, Chad Mercado, keeps up a heroic effort like we see like that right there. Huge monster block shut down, giving Southern Exposure a 2-point lead, 2-0.
Big block from Mercado right there.
Dag sends that one long. Service errors so far are relatively close. 15 on the side of Blaze, 16 on the side of Southern Exposure. So while missed serves are a tough thing to deal with, both sides are trading them fairly evenly. Set to Hubbard-neil. Hubbard-neil punches it through. Physical, hard, aggressive swing through the high hands of Faulkner and O'Gorman. Hubbard-neil with a jump serve, try to extend the lead a little bit more, but a second missed serve of set number 4. For a little more insight on what is going on the sidelines, we're going to Ira Thor. Ira, over to you.
Thanks, fellas. I'm out of the balcony and back out on the floor, and I spoke with LA Blaze coach Cynthia Buggs between sets, and she's very pleased, obviously, as you would imagine, with the defense that she saw from her team in the 3rd set. Obviously wants to get a similar effort here in the 4th. She really stressed the importance of getting the first serve in and allowing her team to do its job and play defense behind the blocks. The defense has done a really nice job of getting a lot of touches and not allowing its pins to really put anything away. The biggest stress she had coming out of huddle was, listen, you guys are playing great defense. Nothing hits the floor. Just keep doing what you're doing and come out of here with the 4-set win. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much. And, you know, it's pretty easy to play defense when you've got a stone-cold block like that. Eddie Joe on the right side and Greg Faulkner going pin to pin. A huge part of 2 blocks back-to-back. LA Blaze igniting right now and getting back on top, 4-3.
That ball came off the block pretty fast. Came off Chad Mercado's head harder than he hit it.
Belvin gets the bounce off the tape. We said it from the beginning. I'm surprised I didn't see Belvin more this weekend, and this is exactly why we said it. The man is a spark plug. All around great guy, gets the Blaze guys going. Vocal leader on the court, lighthearted as well. Sometimes when they're arguing about calls, he's the kind of guy that gets out there and calms people down, creates a sense of order.
Yep.
And right now doing a number for the Blaze members. Talk about doing a number. Tim Lurich, number 8, making his appearance back in the middle. I believe replacing McDonough there. Lurich, someone that we have given player of the match to several times. He already earned that honors twice. A stellar middle blocker. Okay, quick set, back to D-ball. That's going to be dug by D'Agostino, set by Mercado. Tight ball, managed by Moushikhian. Massanet with the first one, but Edison Joe goes over on 2. Massanet with a little bit of an assist there, setting up the big man for the big kill.
Blaze matching the energy that Southern Exposure started out set number 4 with. Built that 1-point lead after somewhat of a slow start.
Tyler Hubbard-Neil going to go for the bump set here. Nice and inside. Good set. Now Moushikhian's got to have to manage. Goes in the angle, finds it. Guzman takes the dig. High off the block taken by Gomez. Dad goes quick back. Mercado hammers that one down. Able to get the kill. 6-6. Nice rally from Southern Exposure. Asking a lot there from Moushikhian. He really had to save a couple balls there. One high, one way outside, but gets it done.
Saw some good coverage there also from D'Agostino.
Massanet has been nails in serve receive. Belvin with the hang and goes for the chop over the top. D'Agostino now to the outside, and that one's going to go just wide for Moushikhian.
Got
But a touch
though.
up top. No argument there. Greg knew what was going on. Big swing into the middle. Greg Faulkner gets a kill. Up in the middle, that one's gonna miss just wide by Ofoha. 8-7 now for the Blaze. Big swing off the block, that's gonna fall just down. Nieves not able to make it happen. That's just wide, or just long, sorry. All right, I was just getting some clarification on points, so we're going to do the quick breakdown. So right now, if Southern Exposure loses, it locks in the National Conference at Freedom in first, Stunners in second, Southern Exposure in third. If they win this in 5, it will lock Southern Exposure in at first, and then it will put Team Freedom at second and Stunners in third. So a match with huge importance, not only for the National Conference, but also for the American Conference, as that impacts who their opponents will be in 1 month's time at event number 4. On the court right now, we see a three-point run being strung together, though, by the LA Blaze. Southern Exposure falling apart a little bit during that run, and they've got to call a timeout to see if they can find a way to shore that one up.
Just a crazy amount of outcomes that are possible because of all the work these teams have done throughout the season. Comes down to this match, perhaps the last 2 sets to determine placements between 1 and 3 championship rights and titles to the conference leaders. Exciting stuff, Nick.
It certainly is, and that I didn't touch on it, but what would happen also is that would guarantee the Matadors 4th, and that would confirm, again, the Tornadoes already confirmed out. So I talked about the top 3 because that's what's in would be in shuffle mode at that point.
Now the Matadors, they play next.
Yep.
Against the Las Vegas Ramblers.
Right.
If the Matadors are able to win that match, will that have any
It has no consequence
on
the national conference. On the American, it will impact the Ramblers, and that is a whole nother.
We're not going to go there
We're not
right
going to
now.
touch that one.
That's got to be mathematically equated by our crack statistician team.
Quick set to Ofoha in the middle. Nice block touch by Nieves to slow it down. Massanet's going to take second ball. Belvin swings, high angle. Ofoha goes aggressive. Set outside. Guzman chisels off top block, dug by Mercado. Back set to Ofoha. Goes deep. O'Gorman not ready for that one. Too much heat in the kitchen. Now down by 2. Ofoha with the jump serve. Targets O'Gorman. Set goes to Belvin on the pin, and a net going to be called on Southern Exposure. Or a kill for Belvin, however you want to stat that one.
I think it goes. That's a great question. I don't know who gets credit for that. The kill or the.
I think internationally, I think you get a blocking error and a kill for the hitter.
I think you're right.
Could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's how they stat it. Jump serve from Guzman. Taken by Moushikhian. And now Moushikhian bangs a bic out of the back row. Serve received to all-time hitter right there. You love to see it. Point for Southern Exposure. Blaze not quite ready for that heat.
We've got ourselves a battle, Nick.
We certainly do.
Just intensified by all that information you shared regarding the outcome of this match.
It's crazy how much it all shifts. It's not just a one or the other. It's going to 3 teams impacted by one match. Back set to Mercado. Mercado one-on-one.
Wow.
With authority.
Whew. Chad Mercado just getting everything behind that one.
Massanet, someone that really excels playing, getting behind swings like that too, but just not able to stand in and battle with that one. Down by 1 now. D'Agostino tries to extend the run, goes for a little bit of a chop serve to keep it alive. Nieves swings and Gomez digs that one to keep it alive. Guzman now to Belvin. Double block, dug by D'Agostino.
Oh no.
Moushikhian and Gomez having a discussion about who should take that one.
The libero.
Libero. Well, yeah, you've got a front row Mercado. The only thing I was going to say there is the counterpoint to that is if there's a front row setter, or depending on your angle, Gomez can only go to the right side. So if D'Agostino's the only one on his feet there, not the option. Moushikhian should take that, but tough one all the same. You got to find an answer. Hubbard-neil going to go with a jump serve now. Still battling just from 1 point down. Massanet cold as ice right there. And Charles with a huge over-the-shoulder windmill swing. Belvin back to the service line. Oof, tough miss after a big kill. 14-13 Exposure, still battling here. Blue Ridge to jump serve. Guzman with a great pass, tipped over the top but recovered. Dag's gonna set that one to Ofoha, gets a reset, Dag covers up. Bump sets from Blue Ridge, and Mercado ready to clean up the trash. Well, we were critical of them finding the right guy last time, but everyone's sure not to replicate the same mistake twice. D'Agostino all over the court, flashing his presence right there. Mercado ready to put that ball away, and Blaze not ready to put up a block. That's a huge in transition point for Southern Exposure. 14 apiece. We are tied up in set number 4. Blue Ridge targets O'Gorman. One set option goes all the way across court. O'Gorman buries it though, and if you're gonna make a missed pass, might as well clean it up yourself. Great swing from the outside. Hubbard-neil takes the pass.
Oh.
Moushikhian one-on-one with the 6'10 Joe, and he hammers that into the hard angle. Guzman not able to handle the heat.
Quite a bomb.
Yeah.
Eddie Moushikhian, cross-court winner.
King College alumni right there, and well-versed grass and sand player, using a variety of skills to get that kill. Quick set, a little bit low, but handled well by Guzman. Dag now to the outside. Moushikhian goes back to it, and back-to-back kills from number 2. And that's going to be our technical timeout. Exposure pushing beyond to get the 16-15. We'll be right back to this nail-biter after a quick break.
Hi, I'm Casey Adams, President of Visible Supply Chain Management. E-commerce growth has exploded since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that creates unique shipping challenges for e-commerce companies.
First, we have a strong team of professionals with immense supply chain knowledge. This team builds solutions and strategies to help mitigate any challenges clients are facing. Second, we have fulfillment centers across the country, which gives us the flexibility to adapt and scale rapidly to customers' changing needs. Third, our clients have access to a wide range of shipping options through our network of trusted partners. And finally, our expanded portfolio of service offerings enables us to manage customers' supply chains on a global scale.
There are many solutions and strategies that can help you overcome holiday shipping challenges, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Chad Mercado right now having a stellar match, coming in with 13 kills, contributing 11 positive points. What that means is points earned minus errors, so he's plus 11. That's a great stat to be at right now. Now with the float serve, Faulkner. Faulkner's been someone that has disagreed with certain calls throughout the weekend on the line, and right there, maybe aims a little bit at the ref on the ricochet, catches him.
We also hadn't said his name for a little while too, so nice to see Greg Faulkner getting a little action through the front row there. They're going to need him. They want to win this match in 4.
And if you're just tuning in, I'm Nick England, joined by Matt Prosser. We've got Ira Thor, who's been with us all weekend long, right now on the sideline reporter. Hubbard-neil tips over the top. Set to the outside, covered. And now Guzman tries to swing away. Ofoha up by himself. D'Agostino in the middle. Ofoha funnels. D'Agostino sets to the backside. D-ball. Mercado buries that down the line. Unable to be dug. And Southern Exposure goes the distance.
Blaze just can't buy a kill or a point in that rally. Kudos goes to Southern Exposure. Wow.
That's where you see the experience of a former USA national team member, Kyle D'Agostino, number 10. Current international player, number 12, Ofoha. Also, he was a teammate to Las Vegas Rambler outside Brandon Rattray last season in Spain. So a lot of experience between those two. Big serve, gonna be tipped over. Exposure ready for it, and Hubbard-neil a little ahead of that set. Now Guzman swings back, covered by Massanet. Edison swings, but that's dug again in the back row by Moushikhian. Mercado, the D-ball. And that one keeps on going, but there's a net from number 8. Pablo Guzman. If you take a look at the net, that thing is bouncing like a bounce house at a first grader's birthday party. And we are back getting after it. This one is a great match. We've already had 7 of our 13 matches go to 5. We have had a ton of volleyball here this weekend, and we're in the 4th set, currently with an 18-6 lead for Southern Exposure. These guys are going after it with so much on the line right now. We hope all of our fans all over the world are enjoying what they're seeing, getting a chance to enjoy some pro volleyball here in the U.S. If you're liking what you see, make sure to hit that like button on the live stream and tell us what team you think is going to put it together to win set number 4 in the live chat right now.
The way this is going, Nick, we might have 8 out of 14 matches going 5.
Over 50% on the weekend would be incredible. Joe with the float serve. Gomez just takes that one as high as possible. Now Mercado's got to manage sets and one-handed pass by Belvin. Bump set to the outside. Big stuff block. Uchina Ofoha says not today. The big man in blue shuts it down at a critical point. Gets a 2-point lead secured back for Southern Exposure, 19-17. And he's now back to serve. Set goes long, and a great counterpoint here from Matt. That was something we keep talking about, is the importance of Blaze winning, but ultimately Blaze must win in 4 because that huge recipe doesn't matter. If they go to 5, they lose in set ratio to the Untouchable. Yep. So if this set goes to Untouchable or to Exposure for Blaze, the rest of it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a big swing from Hubbard-Neil, not able to be covered.
So it's a win or go home situation basically for the Blaze right now.
I think Charles Belvin is so high above the net, he blocked that with part of his face.
Hard to tell. Not too sure exactly what happened there, but a strong, effective block nonetheless. So just to clarify, LA Blaze, in order to advance to weekend number 4, has to win this match in this set.
Yep.
Or else they will be mathematically eliminated.
And now Hubbard-Neil ends that one quick. He might have been blocked last time by Belvin, but he answers back. Huge kill at a critical time. And last night, every time the point mattered for Exposure, we were saying Hubbard-Neil's name. He was ready to answer back against the Stingers. Maybe a solution for Exposure here, up by just 1.
Every point counts now for LA Blaze.
And that's going to be called in an ace.
Oh, wow.
That's as clutch as it comes. Kyle D'Agostino.
Wow.
You saw the line bounce from here. That was as good as it gets.
Sure did, and it was, Nick, as good as it gets. D'Agostino knows his service target. Jump serving once again with a 2-point lead here.
That one goes in the net, but D'Agostino is sure to get a real point before handing it back over. Don't like to see the missed serve, but at least he got one.
Pedro Nieves now back to serve Blaze. Can't overstate the importance of every contact for the Blaze right now, Nick.
Yep. And Nieves has had a couple missed serves. We'll see what he can do now. There's that little bit off you were talking about earlier. But Hubbard-Neil, once again,
Blaze.
I said you got to watch for him.
They cannot stop Southern Exposure's attack right now.
Hubbard-Neil getting it done, and we are in the dog days of set 4, 22-20. We are late here. Blaze needs to step on the gas.
Oh.
Or just keep relying on Southern Exposure to miss untimely serves.
Big serve here coming from Charles Belvin. Possibly one of the biggest serves of his young career. One of the biggest serves for LA Blaze this season.
Keeps it in. Moushikhian with a good pass. Backside, Mercado's the answer. High off the block. And right now, as much as they're missing serves, Southern Exposure is siding out with extremely efficient numbers. So that's going to allow them to keep battling, even with their service pressure, putting some balls in the net or long on the service line. And now we're going to see a timeout from the LA Blaze in an effort to try and ice the Southern Exposure.
I like the timeout. Hopefully, Coach Bugs is imploring her team to realize the importance of set number 4 right now.
This is tough.
Not to put more pressure on them and to say if we lose this set, the season is over, but use a little bit different verbiage to get their hands over the net. The offense of Southern Exposure is just a little too fast, outpacing the blockers from LA Blaze. And they're just not presenting any problems to Southern Exposure either.
It's a tough situation to be in, but it starts with a pass right now. If they're able to get a pass involved, we've seen a decent connection reestablishing between Greg Faulkner and Edison Joe. Travis O'Gorman has been a lethal option all day long, and Guzman hits the bic well. So there's plenty of offensive options, not to mention Charles Belvin on a D-ball, but it all starts with a pass. You've got to lock it in. Massanet takes first ball. There's Faulkner. Moushikhian helps it out, and now Lurich sets to the outside.
Nope.
Mercado goes deep. That location was not where he wanted it on the set, but you've got to manage it a little bit better. Blaze down by just one now.
Tension is palpable, Nick.
That is such a great word.
Palpable.
Yeah. A little bit of a tongue twister, too.
Travis O'Gorman with a jump float serve.
Determined not to make a mistake. Backside to Mercado, one-on-one, but Massanet sticks it in, gets the dig.
Big chance.
No! There's Guzman. Steps up, clutch swing from number 8.
Credit to Ricky Massanet with a huge dig, the biggest dig of the season for the Blaze.
We just earlier talked about after we saw Mercado bury one down the line, how much Massanet sticks in and is bull true, gets the digs right there. You see it.
Single contact by the LA Blaze, magnified. Could be the end of the season, could be a ticket to the finals.
Nobody knows, but you're here to find out. Front row seats.
Jeez, tied at 23s. Set number 4, match number 14 of the weekend.
That dig was next level. We'll see if Massanet's got any more in the tank, and if you've ever watched him play, you know the answer to that question. Number 11 is ready for another one.
The smallest guy on LA Blaze's squad, making the biggest plays. Would not be surprised to see him do it again here. Look for a quick set to Foha. Oh no, he served it out of bounds.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
The exact reason he went to the float serve to keep it in, and this point right here could be LA Blaze 2021 season.
One of the better servers for Southern Exposure, Chad Mercado. He's got a little roll shot jump serve. He disguises it well. What's he going to go with, Nick?
As long as it's in, it's okay.
Oh, he takes
Pop that float, takes everything off. Belvin clutches up, and Captain Clutch, number 27, Charles Belvin, goes very vertical.
The Blaze are still alive. The embers are still glowing, Nick.
Add a little bit of oxygen, get those going, and you might turn this right back into a fire. Getting some of our books tightened up right now. Not sure what the discussion is.
Bit of a rally killer here. Poor timing. Not too sure what's happening with our computer system. Unfortunate timing here.
We're good to go. All right, it was a computer system was having a little bit of a slowdown over here that we were running the refereeing software on. We are good to go, I think, and we're going to get it back underway. Untimely in terms of the Blaze having a little bit of momentum, but interesting all the same. Teams able to get together, have a little discussion about like a mini timeout, how they want to play this out.
Southern Exposure in a nice rotation here. Afoha, Moushikhian in the front row. Faulkner makes his serve. Out of system. Oh, Mercado gets the kill as it rattles through the block.
Faulkner with a lollipop, but determined not to go under the net.
Pedro Nieves can't believe that ball got through his block. It's Moushikhian now serving at match point once again. Excuse me, set point.
Serve, tight pass. D'Agostino goes up and pokes it down. And with that, and a heartbreak finish, LA Blaze season comes to an end. And while the match isn't over, as far as the Blaze is concerned, it doesn't matter. Exposure needs to finish this out for their own season. But now it's playing for pride on the side of the LA Blaze. Oh, man.
Wow.
You can feel the defeat sitting here on the sideline. That's a tough one to swallow and see unfold.
Wow. Yep.
We've got a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Grab some water, and we'll see you right back here on this Sunday night nail biter. We'll be back in 2.
Flow state, the trailblazer, the closer, the do-it-all hero. All of us were born different. Some of us demand more than we were given. Some of us submerge ourselves in the wake, dive into the trenches, and fight with the ferocity of the rising storm. Some push themselves to attain more than those who came before. And those catalysts deserve and demand a form of fuel that will enable them to do so. Introducing Brain Fuel, a cerebral beverage. Be smarter, think faster, live beyond.
Focus. Good pass, put it down. No, come on. Closer. Good pass, put it down.
training for my 6th Olympics. More than ever before, I have to work hard to stay in shape. I run, I lift, I do yoga. That means sore knees, sore back, sore everything. KT Tape helps me push past the pain.
Used by athletes around.
Well, you could hear in our voice a bit deflating. Not that I have personally, I mean, yes, I help run the Ramblers, but I'm just here. I want to see great matches in the NBA, and that was such a valiant attempt by Blaze to make a late season run. So it just, you kind of say goodbye in the middle of a match to a team, and it's a tough one to swallow. As a result, we're going to be seeing Blaze using a lot of the guys on their bench, giving them a chance to see the court and what that means. Alternatively, kind of a lucky break potentially for Southern Exposure, who desperately still needs this win.
Yeah, so it's a very tricky position to be in. I've never quite seen it before. The air has definitely left the building from the LA Blaze side. So just because the match is not over yet, you know, the Blaze could still win the match. However, by them playing in this 5th set, they are mathematically eliminated from weekend number 4 and the playoff tournament coming up in July. However, Southern Exposure, they're still looking to walk away with a victory in this match for their seeding purposes into weekend number 4. So we will see some different faces here from LA Blaze, guys that have not gotten a chance to play today, playing a little bit for their own self-pride, for representing the name on their jersey here, as D'Agostino is about to get us started here in set number 5. Quick game to 15 points.
D'Agostino starts it off with ripping a serve. Marcus Buggs goes up, and we see a touch off the block, and that's going to be a kill for number 10, Rafael Cruz. Cruz, we've seen a lot of, he's gotten a couple reps on the outside, but also been doing a lot as a serving substitution, now getting a chance to be the other outside opposite of Joe Cuevas. Backside, dug by Massanet, but not able to be controlled. Hubbard-Neil with a jump serve. Takes a big swing. Nice pass by Massanet. And there's Jonathan Rodriguez, cold off the bench, first set of the match, and takes a big crack. Greg Faulkner returning to the court now.
Oh, he took his headset out.
Rodriguez trying to warm up rather quick after one swing, and now he's got to serve. Got to get that shoulder ready to go.
Yeah, nice attack there by Jonathan Rodriguez.
Goes for a jump serve. Moushikhian with a tight pass, one-handed set, and Lurich puts that one down over the top. That's as close as you can get. D'Agostino just pulling that one back.
Yeah, Belvin jumped on a back row setter. Ball hadn't broken the plane, and then that leaves essentially no blockers up for the outside attack there from
Lurich. Yeah, Lurich drifting through, yep. Massanet, nice pass. Faulkner takes a swing. There it is, high block touch off of Ofoha into the corner. Nice kill there for Greg Faulkner. Belvin now, we've seen him make a huge impact for the LA Blaze since subbing in after set 2. Ooh, just long, an aggressive serve and an aggressive toss. A player full of highlights, and if you haven't seen him on Instagram before, you're probably not looking at too many volleyball highlight pages. He's got plenty of clips with his face above the net, taking a look around at his opponents. Mercado now with the float serve, overpass. Dag goes to the middle, punched in there into the corner by Ofoha. A little bit of a low set, but shortens up his arm swing and punches it in. Love to see that.
Hadn't said Ofoha's name in a little while, I feel like. Trying to get him reactivated here through the middle.
Mercado now hitting one off the tape. Marquise Buggs sets outside. Cranks it dug in the back row by Cruz. And thrown down over the top by Ofoha.
Comes Mercado again. Oh, this hybrid jump serve just misses.
Now at 5-4, Southern Exposure, still up by 1 after that missed serve. Cuevas, traditionally a very big jump server, likes to attack straight down the line. Sometimes his shoulder prevents the big serve, so we'll see what he's feeling right now. There it is, bounce off the tape, pass by Gomez, dag to the outside. Moushikhian ready to finish that one off. Nice swing into the corner. Once again, you got to remember almost every single guy on the court for Blaze right now is 4 sets cold, so they're all trying to warm up while they're getting some of their first serves and swings of the match.
Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, they're professional volleyball players, so they're limber and in shape. Oh.
And Moushikhian is ready to drop a bomb there. Cuts that one with a nice left to right topspin serve. Cuevas, someone that spends a lot of time playing opposite as well, so maybe not as much experience for that in the serve-receive position. That one is just gonna trickle over, and we talked about letting the air out a bit, and there it is, just those deflating feelings.
Yeah.
We're right back on the court with an 8-4 4-point lead here for Southern Exposure. Once again, the importance of this match. If Southern Exposure takes this win, they will lock in first place for themselves.
Timeout called by LA Blaze. They want to talk about it. Currently down by 4.
All right, LA Blaze heading back out after taking a timeout on the side switch there. Still down by 4. This is still one of those gut checks. Maybe the win doesn't matter and pushing you to week 4, but taking the big win still matters. You know, get the club a win. It's been a long drought of, you know, winless matches here for Blaze, and even just getting another one on paper to end your season, it still matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Find some silver linings here to walk away with a win, even though you won't be playing.
Moushikhian going after Massanet. Tight pass, and Cruz goes over the top. Unfortunately, he's going after D'Agostino, a 5'10" blocker with hands that are just not high enough to be targets.
Right idea, just unfortunately not the execution that resulted in a point.
Southern Exposure doing exactly what they need to right now to lock themselves in the National Conference. That serve's going to go just wide, but Moushikhian gets off 2 serves before missing that one there.
Travis O'Gorman coming in to serve for Greg Faulkner. I like this move by Coach Bugs. See how this first serve goes.
Still warm, able to crank it right away, but Moushikhian ready for this pass.
No touch indicated. That ball goes out of bounds.
A little bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from Hubbard-Neil. Tough set from Dag. That pass went about 8 inches too tight there. So he was trying his best to manage that one. O'Gorman, props to him. Nice serve. Put a lot of pressure on there. See if he can do it again. Oof, that one's going to go in the net. The sub is going to be undone, and we're going to see Southern Exposure's Tim Lurich returning to the court. Rockline coming in to serve for Ofoha. Kevin Rockline had a phenomenal weekend. He has been an integral part of this team, part of their outside hitter core. Using him now as a serving substitution, just keep as much pressure on the court as they can, enough defensive prowess as well. Bugs tries to find Rodriguez, doesn't quite connect. D'Agostino sets the outside, Hubbard-Neil off the hands, up by Belvin. Ricky Massanet, dug by Rockline, a huge talk. Moushikhian finds it, set goes out, but a net. Oh, it's in.
Bodies everywhere.
All the same, that's a phenomenal swing, and that's why we talk about the importance of Tyler Hubbard-Neil on this Southern Exposure roster. There is no set that he can't get a swing on. Moushikhian and D'Agostino putting it all on the court, almost colliding. We saw a dangerous collision yesterday with Team Freedom, so glad to see that was avoided here. Great hustle by them. All right, and that's going to end the rally for them. Marcus Bugs, I believe it's his birthday today, getting a chance for a little bit of playing time here. Float serve, targeting Gomez, and now Lou Rich tries to find the tip, but just not able to connect. We've seen that same misconnect kind of all day as D'Agostino's kind of made his setting appearance with the middles. He's matching their speed, but putting it just above them, so it kind of drifts with them and unable to connect.
Yeah. Just a little unfamiliarity.
All right, nice pass. Back set to Mercado. Kept alive. Massanet's going to bump set to Belvin. Belvin goes a roll shot over the top, dug by D'Agostino. Gomez sets the D-ball. Mercado swings again. This time, nobody home for the D-ball. Chad Mercado has had a stellar lights-out performance from a guy that in set one was just not clicking and finding his way. Able to turn it back on, put the team on his back, and help guide them to where they are right now on the precipice of a set 5 win.
Chad Mercado's a big, strong gentleman. He's got plenty of strength in his back and shoulders to take his team on him. That's exactly what he's done.
It doesn't hurt when you've got 3 or 4 small guys on the court at the same time, like D'Agostino, Gomez, Moushikhian, and Hubbard-Neil. That's maybe the same body weight for number 13.
Blaze still with a chance.
Only down by 2. Cruz, if he can make something happen with his serve in a good spot. Hubbard-Neil now, and Hubbard-Neil just clutching up. He is
the right side attackers for Southern Exposure have been huge components to this match tonight. Continuing to score points, attacking the line seams, manufacturing point after point from the right side of the court.
Back set to Belvin. That one's going to squeak through, not able to be pulled up. And just a reminder, we have our last match of event number 3, the Las Vegas Ramblers, as they take on the hometown Ontario Matadors following this match. That match is scheduled to go live at 7 o'clock. However, from the time this match ends, we will have a 15-minute intermission to get those teams warmed up and on the court and get ready to go. So stay tuned. We have one more after this nail-biter here, as that one ricochets off the hands. Back row of number 14 for the Blaze.
And here we are at match point, Nick, for Southern Exposure.
If you're a Southern Exposure fan, they have had a weekend coming in with a bone to pick with the National Conference. They've taken some huge matches, and this one here will lock in a solid first place win overall in the conference. Cruz off the ceiling, taken by Marcus Buggs. Big swing high, that's out, and that's the ball game. No touch, no line. And Southern Exposure takes it here in 5. So that means the National Conference is all settled in. Southern Exposure taking first, Team Freedom in second, OC Stunners in third, Ontario Matadors in fourth, regardless of how tonight goes. And that's going to be the elimination, as we saw earlier, with Dallas Tornadoes. On the side of the American Conference, that confirms the elimination of the LA Blaze. We've seen the 4th place locked in now for the Chicago Untouchables, and the future of the Utah Stingers, the Las Vegas Ramblers, and the Texas Tyrants is on the line to be decided in our final match. If you're not sure what that means, it's going to be all about how they seed and match up in event number 4. Well, in a weekend that was so hard to know exactly what to expect coming in, there have been dips, turns, all sorts of curveballs at every step of the way. I put my foot in my mouth about 8 times with points, trying to understand exactly what's going on. But we are here with a fantastic result. Nonetheless, Southern Exposure, a story of victory, and unfortunately, the LA Blaze season comes to an end.
Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow for LA Blaze. They fought off some tough draws. They worked their butts off to get to where they were today, but unfortunately just not in the cards for them, as Southern Exposure started out slow but was able to turn it around and fight their way back and extinguish that Blaze flame.
Certainly the case here, and before we get a word from our man of the match, with Ira Thor grabbing, I believe it's going to be Chad Mercado, number 13, joining him. They're getting that set up. So before we get to there, a little bit of a preface, because Ira Thor will be on a plane, so he is about to conclude his weekend. I'm going to be on the sideline supporting and coaching my guys, the Las Vegas Ramblers. So that's going to leave all of you volleyball fans running with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Prosser, a solo show to conclude the weekend. But right now, we are ready to go. I do believe we're going to throw it over to the sideline. Mr. Ira Thor, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by our man of the match from the Southern Exposure, the National Conference champion Southern Exposure, Chad Mercado. Chad, you guys came in this weekend with a lot of work to do to be able to catch Team Freedom and surpass them in the standings. How's it feel to be the conference champions and the #1 overall seed?
It feels great. I wasn't part of the team last season, and they would tell me, winless, kind of like worst to first kind of mentality. It's freaking awesome. So after Atlantic City, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. This tournament, we decided to go have a little bit more fun, and it worked out. So.
These guys behind you have played so well to get the win. Oh, you didn't see them over there. Utah Stingers yesterday, the big-time upset victory. Get that win, come back today. You knew the LA Blaze are playing for their lives. The mentality of this team coming in today, what was it?
It was basically the pressure's off us. They needed to win the match, and so we came out, we wanted to have fun. I think we did that. Yesterday was an awesome victory, especially when we switched up the lineup, so to have fresh legs coming in for some of our guys, we just took it to them. We were like, hey, it doesn't matter if we win or lose here. And they felt a little bit more pressure, I think, so.
This team has so much versatility, so many guys who can be slotted into so many different areas. I mean, you look at a guy like Kyle D'Agostino who's played 3 positions in 3 days. Could you just talk about why that's such a strength for this team and how you guys are going to be such a tough outcome in the postseason?
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, you got 3 days, 3 games, especially just like Freedom, we all go 5, and, that takes a toll on your legs. And so having Kyle set 1 game, playing libero 1 game, swing 1 game, it gives some other guys some rest. And if we're able to do it and still compete at a high level, I mean, it works for us, basically.
And then lastly for yourself, you've performed all week in different roles. Can you assess your own performance and how you're kind of gelling with this team right now?
Sure. Well, it's been a while since I played at this level, so back in Atlantic City it was a little tough. Matadors kind of took it to us, and I was like, okay, so we're back. And then this tournament, it ended up being a little better. We're gelling with the guys, getting better on the connection. And the results show.
The results absolutely show, as Southern Exposure has rallied. They win yesterday against the Utah Stingers, and today in 5 bounce back to beat the LA Blaze. Chad Mercado, our man of the match. Southern Exposure is your National Conference champion.
Great to hear from the man of the match. Had a stellar performance alongside of the rest of his teammates. They have been battling all weekend long. But that's going to do it for us. We've got another match coming at you in just under 15 minutes, so stay tuned. We've got another great nail-biter with a lot on the line. The Matador is probably one of the most viewed teams in the NBA, a crowd favorite. The Las Vegas Ramblers with a star-studded lineup got Brandon Rattray, one of the most explosive guys in the league. This is surely a match to deliver, important one for the Ramblers. Stay tuned. I'm Nick England. That's Matt Prosser. You heard from Ira Thor, has been here all weekend. We appreciate you guys staying by. We'll see you back here in just 13 minutes.